Ensuring safety in flight. How do airlines prevent hijacking? While aircraft hijackings are a relatively rare occurrence, their prevention is an everyday focus for both airline and airport staff. There are several safety and security regulations in place to identify and mitigate threats that can occur all at all stages of air travel, beginning the moment a potential criminal enters an aircraft. Unlike carjacking or sea piracy, where a criminal's main goal in most cases is robbery or theft, aircraft hijacking could lead to far more dangerous consequences. There are plenty of examples of unauthorized access to the flight deck, leading to the overpowering of pilots and seizing of an aircraft, resulting in tragedy. Most hijacking cases have ended in the deaths of innocent people both on board the aircraft and on the ground. The first recorded aircraft hijack occurred in 1931 in Peru, where Byron Ricards flew a Ford tri-motor aircraft from Lima to Arequipa, where he was approached on the ground by armed revolutionaries. The group wanted the aircraft to distribute propaganda leaflets over region. However, the pilot refused and was held captive for 10 days. He was later released. The list of recorded hijackings has grown since this event, and at least three hijacking cases were reported in 2021 alone, according to Statista. The most recent of these incidents occurred in May 2021 when a Ryanair commercial jet was intercepted by Belarusian authorities while flying over Belarus en route to Vilnius, Lithuania. What is classed as hijacking? A hijacking is usually the consequence of events caused by a solo or a group of disruptive passengers. The International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO describes an unruly passenger and an individual who on the ground or in a plane carries out any action or pursues a course of conduct which is unlawful according to national legislation or which may amount to a violation under civil aviation security and safety legislations. The CAIO devised four threat levels to categorize disruptive passenger events that could lead to a skyjacking, the act of taking control of a flying aircraft by force. Dealing with unruly behavior, the first and lowest level incidents conduct such as unacceptable behavior towards a flight attendant, communicating displeasure through tone of voice or rude gestures, verbal arguments geared towards cabin crew requests and instructions, and the violation of an airline safety regulation. In case like this, cabin crew members can verbally warn a passenger on the legal consequence of their behavior, which includes civil, administrative, and even criminal charges. Depending on the threat level, the CAIO has issued a list of recommendations for airlines regarding how cabin crew pilots should respond to safety and security breaches on board. Following these ICAO recommendations, each airline forms its own unruly passenger policy, ensuring employees take reasonable efforts to protect airline property, personnel, and passengers. Of course, the main tool at this stage is excellent conflict resolution, a skill which cabin crew members hone through consistent training. Some potentially threatening situations can be handled legally even before an unruly person has chance to stop on board the plane. A flight attendant is permitted to block disruptive passengers from boarding if some of their actions appear to be dangerous to the crew, other personnel, or an aircraft. If a passenger starts to act in a threatening manner mid flight, cabin crew are allowed to prevent the passenger from moving on board when their actions are suspicious. However, when a person poses a real threat to life by displaying or using a weapon on board, for instance, injuring themselves or somebody or showing any other signs of threatening, intimidating, or disorderly behavior, Cabin crew can have the right to consider reseating the unruly passenger. They can separate him from other people on board. In some cases, flight attendants can even apply movement constraint appliances such as seatbelts, duct tape, shoelaces, and other passenger goods to prevent a person from attacking the flight deck. In these extreme cases, the decision will be considered a breach of rights, not considered a breach of right. Should a passenger begin to use physical force against themselves, other or aircraft equipment, including verbal threats of physical violence or bodily harm, air crew are permitted to issue a warning letter so that the passengers can fam- familiarize themselves with the consequences. There are also occasions where the aircraft captain is required to get involved when dealing with potential threats in cabin. The commander is responsible for informing air traffic control ATC about what is happening on board in case it is necessary to divert to closest airport. In the most dangerous situation, when a person attempts to force their way into the flight deck, cabin crew are allowed to use any means to detain the offender. Meanwhile, the captain must perform an immediate emergency landing at the nearest airport, issuing a request to ATC for legal authorities to be present on the ground to take a stock of the situation. How do airlines deal with hijacking? Following the September 11th attacks in 2001, when a group of terrorists seized control of four commercial planes mid flight across the United States, aviation regulators, airlines, and aircraft manufacturers issued a range of procedures to prevent catastrophic events like this from happening in the future. Since the most protected and vulnerable part of aircraft is its flight deck, all airlines follow strict guidelines on when, how, and by whom the flight deck door are similar to commercial airlines across the globe. However, depending on the aircraft's model, type, size, and individual airport airline policy, some aspects may differ. Access to the flight deck door is usually restricted on the ground as well as during the flight. While there are some exceptions for a smaller passenger aircraft, the door on more popular aircraft models such as the Airbus A320, the Boeing 737, and larger jets must be lockable to prevent entry to those on board except active crew or other authorized personnel. Only designated flight crew, cabin crew, or maintenance staff are allowed to enter the aircraft and the flight deck when an aircraft is on the ground. However, prior to the entry, all personnel are expected to provide a specific license stating that they are permitted to enter. The rules are even stricter when the aircraft is airborne. The flight deck door will remain locked during the entire flight. All air carriers set standards observations, operations procedures, SOPs, following which access to the cockpit is prohibited during certain stages of the flight. For example, during takeoff, climb, approach, and landing. The main purpose of doors is to prevent unauthorized access, so every flight deck door features a specific flight crew cabin surveillance system, and electronic or manual locks operated by the pilots. Why so important about the deck door? According to in-flight communications rules, it is recommended that cabin crew contact the flight crew mainly via an interphone system. However, when it is necessary to enter the cockpit, for instance, when flight attendants need to serve meals, they are required to follow a standard flight deck access procedures. Typically, the door is equipped with three models of locking and controlled by pilots, normally unlocked and locked. When the door is set to normal, it means that the flight deck is locked, but it can be accessed from the aircraft cabin side when a cabin crew member enters a specific code in a touchpad. This is the most common mode used by any airline during flight. Meanwhile, the unlocked mode is rarely used since it leaves the door open and the flight deck can be accessed from both sides. However, when it comes to level 4 situation on board, when a threat occurs in passenger's cabin, the door is switched to the locked position. In this case, the locking mechanism will ignore the touchpad entry code and remain locked for the duration of the flights unless the pilot intervenes. The secret every cabin crew member keeps. The lock mechanism on the flight deck door is the most effective tool to prevent someone from seizing control of the aircraft mid-flight. While every medium-sized or larger commercial plane is usually equipped with an unbreakable, high-grade, bulletproof handleless door made of anti-corrosive aluminum. Some planes have an even more complicated double door system installed. The air lock door system, which is most found on large wide-body airlines, features two doors that are electronically interlocked so that both cannot be opened at the same time. This separates the lavatory from the aircraft gallery. Regardless of the type of door utilized, they are all code protected. So if you have wondered what the biggest secret held by cabin crew members is, it will be that code. Dear students, it is very important chapter. This suggests measures to combat airplane hijacking. So all the crew members, including pilots and maintenance staff, has to keep in mind these measures.